Hello students, welcome to this ethics class. Now we will discuss 2018 6a. The true rule in determining to embrace or reject anything is not whether it has any evil in it, but whether it has more evil than good. There are few things wholly evil or wholly good. Almost everything, especially of government policy, is an inseparable compound of the two, so that our best judgment of the preponderance between them is continually demanded. Abraham Lincoln. Again, before watching this video, attempt this question on your own. So I am writing what I understand by this statement. Let us see. The code shows difficulty in evaluating options and making choices, since it is often unclear whether an option is better or worse. A major difficulty is in trying to quantify qualitative goods and bads, and also to incorporate complex and often incalculable consequences and their repercussions. So if we see, there is generally difficulty in evaluating options because not everything is wholly good or wholly bad, but generally almost everything, if you consider, they have some good and they have some bad. We tend to evaluate the goods and bads, and we tend to make a choice based on our evaluation. Also, most of the goods and bads are qualitative. So if you are trying to quantify them to determine whether it is good and bad, there is difficulty. There is also difficulty in trying to calculate the consequences, because consequences of our actions could be many, especially when we consider the repercussions. So generally evaluating options is not very simple because it doesn't generally have only good or only bad. So we generally require continuous preponderance between the options. So also the attractiveness of an option changes with time, circumstances, experiences and understanding, also with new experiences and also with new information and diverse viewpoints. That is why we have public discourse and freedom of speech and expression to facilitate this evaluation. So based on what the quote is saying, we get an important point that public discourse is very important. Because evaluating an option is very difficult, we need public discourse and freedom of speech and expression so that we can make right evaluation, so that we can make right decisions. That is why if we see, even our constitution itself is a living document subject to changes over time, even though it is supreme. So constitution is the supreme document of the land, but it itself is a living document because continuous preponderance between the options is required, because not everything is completely good or completely bad. We continuously need to re-evaluate the options. That is why even constitution provides enough flexibility to have a continuous preponderance between options. And even Supreme Court re-evaluates and reverses its decision time and again. So that is why we can see that even Supreme Court has time and again reversed many of its decisions based on preponderance between the options. So the quote, if you see, we are finding its application everywhere because it is very important. It leads to, the code paves way for public discourse. It shows the importance of constitution to be living document. It gives Supreme Court chance to re-evaluate and reverse its decisions time and again. Thus no choice is absolute best, and continuous re-evaluation of options with preponderance between goods and bads is required. So it comes to around 130 words. Similarly, you can incorporate other examples. Here I have incorporated only few examples because I was trying to explain why choices are difficult, why we need continuous preponderance, especially because everything is not completely good or completely bad. They have some good and they have some bad. So whether it has more good or more bad, it is very difficult to decide, especially because of all the reasons in this slide. And the application of quote is also seen in very important principles like public discourse, freedom of speech and expression, Supreme Court reversing its decision, judicial review, that is nothing but judicial review, and also the application is also seen in Constitution being a living document, and we can also amend the Constitution. So similarly, you can include your own examples, your own arguments, and develop your own answer. So that is all. Thank you.